You are carrying something heavy tonight. As this bedtime prayer begins, you bring that weight with you into the quiet. In this still hour, we turn to Saint Anthony of Padua, asking for urgent help in a difficult situation before sleep. Let your shoulders soften now. Let your jaw loosen. Breathe in slowly and release the day with a long, steady exhale. You do not have to solve everything tonight. You are allowed to rest in God's care. In this moment, you are safe. In this prayer, you are not alone. The night can hold you gently while heaven listens. You are carrying something heavy tonight, and it has followed you into this room. The questions, the pressure, the uncertainty, they feel close. Yet here, in the quiet of this hour, you place that burden before God. You ask for urgent help in a difficult situation that weighs on your heart. And you ask Saint Anthony of Padua to stand beside you as a powerful intercessor and finder of what is lost. Not only what is misplaced in the world, but what feels lost within you: peace, clarity, confidence, hope. If this prayer brings comfort to your soul, you may subscribe so that these nightly prayers can continue to guide you into rest. Now gently return your focus to your breathing. Let the air move in slowly through your nose. Let it leave your body without strain. There is no rush here. Saint Anthony of Padua, faithful intercessor, finder of what is lost, you understand the anxiety of those who search. You know the feeling of needing an answer quickly. Tonight, your child asks for help that cannot wait long. There is a difficult situation pressing close, and the heart feels stretched between faith and fear. Stand near now. Carry this urgent request to God with tenderness and strength. Where there is financial strain, ask for provision. Where there is confusion, ask for clarity. Where tension has entered the home, ask for peace to settle gently over every room. Nothing is too small for God's attention, nothing is too complicated for His wisdom, and nothing is beyond His mercy. Let your shoulders drop a little more, let your hands rest open. You do not have to hold everything together tonight. Saint Anthony of Padua prays with you. God watches over you. The night is not against you. It is a quiet shelter where grace can begin to work. The night has grown quieter, and yet the thoughts may still be moving within you. Saint Anthony of Padua knows what it is to seek what seems just out of reach. He understands the longing for resolution, for a door to open, for an answer that brings relief. Tonight you do not demand a miracle. You simply ask for help. Calm, serious, trusting help. Bring the difficult situation gently into your awareness, but do not grip it tightly. Picture yourself placing it into God's hands, not throwing it in frustration, not clutching it in fear, just placing it there. Saint Anthony of Padua stands beside that offering, lifting it with reverence before the Lord. You are not alone in this appeal. Perhaps finances feel uncertain, bills may linger in your mind, there may be numbers that do not yet add up. Ask for provision without shame. God sees your effort, He knows your responsibilities. Saint Anthony of Padua, who has long been called upon in times of need, carries your request for daily bread and steady provision. Maybe what troubles you most is confusion. You want clarity. You want to know what step to take, what words to say, what decision will bring peace instead of regret. Saint Anthony of Padua, powerful intercessor and finder of what is lost, ask God to restore what feels missing: direction, wisdom, insight. Let light fall gently on the path ahead, even if you can only see one step at a time. And if there is tension in your home, unspoken strain or quiet distance, ask for peace to settle there tonight. Not forced peace, not silence that hides pain, but true peace that softens hearts and steadies voices. Saint Anthony of Padua prays for harmony within your walls. Now feel the bed supporting you. Notice the steady rise and fall of your chest. You do not have to solve this before morning. The work of heaven continues even while you sleep. Let that truth rest beneath your thoughts like a quiet foundation. As the night deepens, allow your breathing to grow slower and more even. Saint Anthony of Padua remains close, not distant, not hurried. You came into this prayer carrying something heavy, and that weight has been acknowledged before God. Now, instead of replaying every detail, let your heart rest in trust. Difficult situations often stir fear. They whisper that time is running out, that mistakes cannot be repaired, that help may not come quickly enough. Yet Saint Anthony of Padua, faithful intercessor and finder of what is lost, has stood beside countless souls who felt the same urgency. He does not dismiss your concern. He presents it calmly before the throne of God. Tonight, ask not only for an outcome, but for protection over your mind. Guard your thoughts from spiraling. Shield your imagination from worst-case scenarios. Saint Anthony of Padua prays that peace would stand like a gentle watchman at the door of your heart. When anxious thoughts knock, they do not need to enter. You may remember the simple, trusting words once prayed by many. Tony, Tony, look around. Something's lost and must be found. Let that line rest here, not playfully, but sincerely. What feels lost in this situation? Opportunity, stability, understanding. Ask Saint Anthony of Padua to look around the hidden corners of this problem and bring to light what you cannot yet see. Financial provision, clarity, peace in your home, these are not selfish desires. They are needs rooted in responsibility and love. God sees your effort to do what is right. Saint Anthony of Padua asks that doors be opened where they should open and gently closed where they should not. Now let your forehead smooth, let your jaw relax again. The night air moves quietly around you. You are not required to force solutions. Under God's steady gaze, and with Saint Anthony of Padua interceding, you can allow this hour to become softer. Trust does not eliminate urgency, but it steadies the heart within it. The room is still, and your breathing has become gentler. Saint Anthony of Padua remains present in this quiet hour, carrying your urgent need before God with steady faith. You may not see what is happening beyond your sight, yet heaven is never inactive. Even in silence, grace is at work. Saint Anthony of Padua, faithful intercessor, finder of what is lost, you once preached with clarity and compassion, guiding hearts back to truth. You helped restore what had been misplaced, not only objects but trust in God. Tonight, restore what feels scattered in this difficult situation. Restore courage where doubt has crept in. Restore steadiness where emotions have felt unsettled. Many have prayed words like these: O blessed Saint Anthony, gentle and powerful in your intercession, help me in my present necessity. Let that prayer echo softly now. Help in this present necessity, not tomorrow's concerns, not distant fears, this present need. If financial strain weighs on you, ask that provision come in ways both practical and surprising. Ask for wisdom in managing what you have. Ask for favor where favor is needed. Saint Anthony of Padua carries these requests without embarrassment because God delights in caring for his children. If confusion clouds your thinking, ask for light. Not a floodlight that reveals the entire future, but a lamp for the next step. Saint Anthony of Padua understands the value of small clarity. A single wise decision can shift everything, and if peace in your home feels fragile, invite God's presence into every room. Picture his peace resting on the doorways, settling over conversations, softening tones and glances. Saint Anthony of Padua prays for harmony that is rooted in patience and humility. You are not asking alone. You are not hoping alone. The burden that felt so heavy at the beginning of this prayer is now shared. Let your hands unclench. Let your breathing lengthen. In this sacred stillness, trust grows quietly, like roots deep beneath the surface. The night continues, and there is a quiet strength forming within you. Saint Anthony of Padua stands as a steady intercessor, not anxious, not alarmed, but confident in God's mercy. Your urgent situation is not ignored in heaven. It is being held with care. Bring to mind again what feels most pressing. Instead of tightening against it, breathe slowly and allow your body to soften. Feel your legs growing heavy against the bed. Let your arms rest without effort. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest. As your body settles, your spirit can settle too. Saint Anthony of Padua, powerful intercessor and finder of what is lost, ask God to protect this home tonight. Let no harsh word take root. Let no misunderstanding grow larger in the dark. Ask that peace move quietly through every space, even into places where tension has lingered. Peace does not need to be loud to be real. If finances remain uncertain, ask for daily provision with humility and trust. God knows what you require. Saint Anthony of Padua prays that resources be guided wisely, that opportunities appear at the right time, and that fear does not dictate your decisions. Even when numbers seem tight, heaven's care is not limited. If clarity is what you long for, ask that confusion loosen its grip. Sometimes what feels lost is not an answer, but confidence. Saint Anthony of Padua seeks what is hidden, lost focus, lost courage, lost perspective. Ask that these be gently restored. You do not need every piece of the puzzle tonight. You only need enough grace for this moment, and that grace is present. Let your jaw relax once more. Let your brow smooth. The bed supports you completely. Under the quiet watch of Saint Anthony of Padua, your heart can ease. God remains attentive. The situation is in His hands. You are allowed to rest while He works. As the night moves forward, allow your heart to grow lighter. Saint Anthony of Padua remains near, not only as a helper in urgent need, but as a gentle guide toward peace within your own soul. Sometimes what makes a situation heavier is not only the problem itself, but the weight of regret, frustration, or self-blame that clings to it. If you have spoken words you wish you could take back, place them before God now. If you have delayed something out of fear, acknowledge it without harsh judgment. Saint Anthony of Padua, faithful intercessor and finder of what is lost, ask that what was lost through weakness be restored through mercy. God does not approach you with accusation tonight. He approaches with compassion. Release the need to replay every conversation. Release the urge to solve everything in your mind before morning. There is a difference between responsibility and self-punishment. Saint Anthony of Padua prays that you would know that difference clearly. If tension has entered your home, forgive where you can. Even if resolution will take time, forgiveness can begin quietly in the heart. Ask for the grace to soften. Ask for patience. Ask for the humility to listen. Saint Anthony of Padua carries these requests gently, knowing that peace often begins with a single act of surrender. If financial strain has stirred anxiety or shame, let that shame go. Needing provision is not failure. It is part of being human. God sees your effort. He honors your work. Saint Anthony of Padua asks that doors open in due time and that wisdom guide each decision. Now feel your body again. Let your shoulders sink deeper into the mattress. Let your breathing slow naturally without force. The day is ending. You are not required to carry it any longer. Saint Anthony of Padua stands in prayer. God's mercy surrounds you. What can be released tonight? Release. What must wait until tomorrow? Entrust to heaven. Your soul does not have to strain. Rest is also an act of faith. The night is steady now. Saint Anthony of Padua remains close in this quiet hour, and nothing about your situation surprises heaven. You are safe to rest. Let that truth settle gently over you. Your breath is slow and easy, moving in and out without effort. Under Saint Anthony of Padua's quiet watch, the worries of the day do not need to press so hard. Let the body grow heavy. Feel the mattress supporting you completely. Your legs sink deeper, your arms soften at your sides. Saint Anthony of Padua remains near, interceding calmly, while your thoughts begin to drift past like distant clouds. You do not have to chase them. You do not have to argue with them. You are safe to rest. If a concern rises again, notice it without tension. Then allow it to pass. Your breath is slow and easy, steady as a gentle tide. Under Saint Anthony of Padua's quiet watch, the urgent edges of the problem lose their sharpness. What felt overwhelming can wait until morning light. Let the body grow heavy once more. Saint Anthony of Padua does not leave when you grow quiet. His prayer continues even as yours becomes softer. You are safe to rest. The night is not empty, it is filled with God's presence. Your breath is slow and easy, and your chest rises and falls in peaceful rhythm. Let thoughts drift past. Let the body grow heavy. Under Saint Anthony of Padua's quiet watch, you do not need to hold everything together. The situation rests in God's hands. You rest in His care. And in this stillness, sleep can begin to draw near without resistance. The night has grown deep and gentle. Saint Anthony of Padua remains near, steady and faithful, carrying your needs before God. You are safe to rest. The work of heaven does not pause when your eyes close. Under Saint Anthony of Padua's quiet watch, your heart can loosen its final grip on the day. Your breath is slow and easy. Feel the soft rhythm of your chest rising and falling. Let the body grow heavy again, as if the bed itself is holding you with care. Saint Anthony of Padua remains close, not with urgency now, but with calm assurance. The difficult situation rests in God's hands. You do not need to manage it through the night. If a last thought tries to return, let it drift past. You are safe to rest. Under Saint Anthony of Padua's quiet watch, tomorrow will come with the grace it requires. For now, there is only this quiet moment. Your breath is slow and easy. Let your jaw loosen slightly. Let your brow remain smooth. Saint Anthony of Padua continues to intercede even as your mind grows quieter. Let the body grow heavy. Let thoughts drift past without effort. You are safe to rest. Nothing more is required of you in this hour. God is present. Saint Anthony of Padua remains faithful. The home is covered in gentle peace. Provision, clarity, and resolution are entrusted to heaven. Your breathing is calm. Your heart is steady. If you wish, you may quietly share your intention in the comments before you sleep. Now allow your eyes to close fully. Under Saint Anthony of Padua's quiet watch, you are safe to rest. Your breath is slow and easy. Let the body grow heavy and surrender to the quiet gift of sleep.